Hey, hi, hello. This is the first episode of Out of Left Field, something we've been talking about for, a few months.
Yeah, since the new year.
Yeah, finally put it into fruition. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brody.
This is Brody. Yeah, so let's get that wine bottle and just smash it on my laptop and get this maiden voyage going.
Yeah. Kristen, this son of a bitch.
Yeah, so we're out of Lethbridge, Alberta. In fact, I just realized I put the audio file name out of left field, so
nice.
I completely fucked this
Just
up already.
No pun.
No pun.
Just
Good. We're gonna
good.
get copyright slammed so hard.
This is a baseball show now.
Yeah, we're gonna
Just has to
talk
be.
about baseball. How about them Mets?
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. Grapefruit League.
So anybody listening that is from Lethbridge, we got that one day of sunny sunshine.
Yeah, that was the Lethbridge summer we decided.
Yeah,
So we're actually in
day.
the beginning of a new winter.
Yeah,
this is winter 2018.
The land of never winter. Never ending winter. Yeah, so that sucks for anybody that was looking forward to a nice sunny, rest of the season.
Yeah, nothing but snow. Just skiing all year, no golf.
Man, maybe this is the end of Game of Thrones, but in real life.
Maybe. Yeah. Winter has come.
Winter has come, and it's not going fucking anywhere.
Look outside, there's White Walkers everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we've got to look forward to.
Excellent. I, for one, don't have any swords in the house, so...
Well, we got those form swords we made that one summer.
Yeah, that'll work real well. Yeah.
Just throw
lead
some
us to
magic
the
on
Iron
that.
Throne.
Man, I really do want to eventually make an Iron Throne out of foam swords.
That would be really rad. Actually, what if you did that, to your toilet?
To my toilet? Yeah.
Yeah. You could,
like the
you
sound
could
of
leave
that.
it there as an installation.
Oh, man.
That would be sweet.
Oh, if I ever sell that house, that just skyrockets.
Oh,
the market.
yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't want an Iron Throne?
Foam sword toilet. I would come to your house just to
take a shit in my house just because it's the Iron Throne.
It's like the opposite of what most people do. They're like, I can't shit in another person's house. I have to only shit in Tyler's house.
Yeah, I'll just give you a key.
Thanks.
Yeah,
appreciate
whenever you want, man. Open bathroom.
It's communal now.
Yeah, well, I've never had that problem with shitting in other people's houses.
Yeah, me neither. Which has actually been unfortunate for me in my life a few times. I'm a big pooper, and I'm not someone who should shit in other people's toilets because I've routinely broken them.
You heard it here folks. Brody's a big pooper.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I remember one time I met a girlfriend's mom, and I took a shit in her house and clogged the toilet. And I couldn't discreetly get it unclogged because I couldn't find the plunger.
That's a horror story right there.
So the first time I met her mom, I had to ask her where the plunger was in her house.
Yeah, man, that's a hell of a first impression.
Yeah. She was really nice about it, which is good. But
so you're gonna have to call a plumber.
Yeah, I should just kind of pre-hire one to follow me around.
Yeah, just like your personal bodyguard, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's dual purpose.
I would really love to see that. Just a guy in full hitman bodyguard, but he's just got a plumbing wrench instead of a gun in
his
a
little
holster.
tool belt. Yeah, tactical plumbing.
Yeah. Speaking of shits, that's my job now for the next month.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sewage.
Taking
guy.
care of that plumbing.
So, I'm not around sewage a lot. Do you actually Are you exposed to it at all?
Well, in our little shack there, we do have some gloves and one of those white painter suits.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm not painting in shit anytime soon. That would be just bad. That's the thing. You never expect it to happen, but that's when it happens. That's when you're just having a really nice day. All the dials are good. You're just walking, doing your checks, and then one day, just a big fucking geyser of shit comes out of that hole.
Oh man. Could you imagine? Oh, it's gross.
You know what, Brody? I think our podcast is going to be really, really popular with shit people.
Yeah. This is actually just a podcast devoted to shit
Yeah.
in all its forms.
What a shitty podcast.
This podcast writes itself. It's so easy.
Who was that? I think it was either Beethoven or Mozart that actually had a shit fetish.
Ew. That's
Yeah.
How would we know that?
There was
he wrote about it in his diary.
There's this one Mozart song. I can't remember how it goes or anything, but the lyrics are like basically an ode to
Poop.
to poop.
Wow.
Yeah, you never know because it's like extremely old English, so it sounds beautiful. That's kind of the thing. Like even with Shakespeare, Shakespeare had a dirty fucking mind. He was like the Jeff Foxworthy or like Larry the Cable Guy.
Well,
of like
that was a big
classical
part
England.
of like entertainment then, right?
Yeah.
It was like that over the top comedy. So I mean, you write for I guess the people.
Yeah. I knew a girl that was a huge like Shakespeare fan who would obviously know the quote a lot better than I am. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing right now, but it was something along the lines of like, you have a rope and you go door to door and hooer to hooer, and all you're left with is a rope. Yeah, see. Sorry, Shakespeare.
I don't
I'm butchering
recall
your work.
that specific verse.
Yeah. But I think what the takeaway from that is that you you start the night out with a hard dick and you go from whore to whore and all you're left with is a soft dick. It's in a rope.
Gotcha.
Shakespeare is pushing rope.
That's the quote right there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That makes me wonder if in like 500 years from now, what like horrible, dirty artists are going to be remembered.
Just like like that'll be like classical music. Like
Yeah.
Tyler the Creator is a classical artist.
There's going to be people in the future that think people that listen to Tyler the Creator are just pretentious as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. They were all monocled.
Yeah. Drinking champagne from a shoe.
It's like that Futurama episode where they go, the first one, where they go to Moon World.
Oh, yeah.
The moon landing doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Whalers. That's how we'll be remembered.
Whalers on the moon.
We carry a harpoon. That was a great show.
Futurama? Oh yeah, I love that show. Yeah, that was right around the time The Simpsons really faltered in quality.
Yeah.
And then Futurama kind of picked up the slack.
And they did. They were like, actually, if you were to ask me, I would probably watch Futurama over The Simpsons. I think I'm a bigger fan of that show.
Like over newer Simpsons or
just in general. Like
Oh,
if I could
really?
only
Oh,
watch
man.
one series and the other one
Futurama,
just
huh?
didn't exist,
Yeah.
Futurama.
And since like the age of 4, I've watched The Simpsons, and like it's not one of those shows that's just good when you're young, and then you watch it when you're older. Like it holds up so well. I love classic Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen like the steamed hams meme going around.
No. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Yeah,
No. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
yeah. See, I fucking love
That's
that so much. I love how people have taken that. Like there's one steamed hams where it's steamed hams with Metal Gear.
Okay.
Those are like two of my favorite things combined. So I'm
Metal
pretty
Gear
happy
and The
with that.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's the perfect crossover for you.
Yeah, Hideo Kojima could make that happen.
Yeah, I'm sure. That'll be like the next video game, right? The next big thing. Metal Gear Simpsons.
Yeah, assuming Konami doesn't fuck that up.
Yeah. So what happened there? Like he got fired, and then they basically just kind of made shitty games without him. Isn't that?
Well, somewhere along the line, because Kojima's been Konami's moneymaker for the last 20 years.
Yeah, right.
Like Metal Gear was raking in all the cash. And then when Metal Gear Solid 5 was getting made and produced and all that, and Kojima was obviously spending a lot of money on it.
Mm-hmm.
To make his masterpiece, and he was putting a lot of time and effort, and they wanted it out faster because it had already been in like pre-production for 2 years, I think, at that point. So there's a lot of trailers and a lot of like hype surrounding it, and they wanted it out as quick as they could. And Kojima, being the badass he is, was like, no, I gotta take my time with this. I'm making the game I want to make, which has been his philosophy for the last 20 years. And then that was when, as far as I understand, Konami was like, all right, well, hit the fucking brooks. Get out of here.
That's crazy.
But he still had his name, like, plastered all over the game. Like, they removed, like, they did some really shitty things, too. Like, they removed his name from the box art.
Right.
But it's funny because, like, when you play a mission in that game, you'll see Hideo Kojima's name 20 times.
Oh, yeah?
Like, even if it doesn't need to be there, like, Hideo Kojima made this helicopter. Hideo Kojima made this gun. Hideo Kojima made that rock.
Just signatured everywhere.
But, yeah, like, the work practices that Konami, it was like a fucking sweatshop.
Oh, yeah?
In the studio. And then, yeah, once they decided that making games isn't making any money, let's make pachinko machines instead. Like,
so now that's...
Yeah, that's just sad. And then obviously Metal Gear Survive came out, which is kind of the first Metal Gear with no Kojima in it. And it's garbage.
Yeah, that's
Hot
what everyone
garbage.
said.
Yeah.
Poking zombies with sticks the game.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's just tragic, because, like, the Fox engine, like the engine that Metal Gear Solid 5 is on, is phenomenal.
Okay.
Like, it is just fantastic. Like, the stealth controls, like, all the controls are so tight and everything's responsive, and it's just an awesome engine that, like, someone with good intentions and good practice could make an awesome game out of that.
Yeah. It's kind of a tough position, though, like, I don't know. With games, like, you're right, you do want to do everything right, you want to put the money into it, the time into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's all this pressure, like, if you take 5 years to release a game, then that's 5 years you're not making money off it.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's kind of a big risk, too, because if you spend 5 years making this game and then no one buys it, or
exactly,
everybody hates it.
Yeah. And especially, like, timing out releases with other games and stuff,
Yeah, for
too.
sure.
Like, sometimes you feel you need to get a game out to sell it.
Well, like, the video games industry now is pretty cutthroat, and, like, it's a testament. Like, it's bigger than movies have been in the last, like, what, 5-10 years? Like, video games raking the fucking cash. Like, Grand Theft Auto 5, I think, has the record for most game sales, and I think that's past 1 billion now.
What game?
Grand Theft Auto 5?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, that's sold more than any movie in the last, like, couple of years.
That's kind of crazy to think, like, I don't know, that's pretty big business then, hey?
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to, like, what it was even when we were kids, like N64.
Oh, man, N64 days.
Yeah, exactly.
That was, like, the golden age of, like, this new frontier of gaming. Like, it was the Wild West back then.
Mm-hmm. It was... I don't know, it's probably nostalgia, but I enjoy the setup of those games more. Like, I like that you physically had to have people over to play with.
Yeah,
and, like,
no, that's...
that experience as a
That
kid.
was so awesome.
Yeah, like kids nowadays
calling up your friends. Actually calling up your friends.
Yeah.
There's no texting back then.
We're really dating ourselves here.
Fuck, we are. We're old. Man, like, you remember the dark days when if you didn't know where your friends were, you'd actually have to, like, call their house and, like, talk to their mom or, like
figure it out.
Figure it out. Yeah. Nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays, like, you can know where everyone is just, like...
Instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like, co-op gaming is so fun. And, like, I really like when games today are coming out with that in mind. Like, that No Way Out game. That seems like a really cool concept.
What is
it?
I
I think I sent it to you in the group chat. That was, like, that, like, prison break game.
Oh, yeah, okay,
that was, like,
yeah.
split screen,
yeah.
and then one of you is, like, tempting the guard to come over so the other one can, like, chill out a toilet.
Yeah. I watched that. I don't know exactly what you're talking about now.
Man, we would fuck that up so hard.
Yeah, there's not a lot of us that are very good at video games in our group.
No.
After you and I, it's drops off pretty sharply.
Man, you remember when we were playing Until Dawn, and it was that part where the Wendigos are chasing after you, and Aiden got the really cool guy killed,
Oh yeah.
And then he just like threw the controller at you, like, I'm done. Someone else take it. At like the most inopportune, worst time, and that Wendigo just fucking chopped Chris's head right off, like as soon as the controller was midair.
He just couldn't handle it. That was fun though. That's a great. I like that game because it's a great game for people who don't play video games.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
Like it's pretty good jumping off point that you could just like jump in and.
Yeah, like it's not. You don't need any video game skill really.
Oh no.
And it's like a hybrid between a movie and a game almost. I think.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's like the amount of like cutscenes in it, but they're all interactive cutscenes. Like you're playing the game, but it still got like that narrative, like a movie.
Yeah. There's very few times you're actually fully in control of your character.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually just watching what they do. You choose your own adventure book.
Pretty much, yeah. I used to read those a lot.
I used to love those. Those are another thing. Like, I don't know, man. Do kids even still read books?
Fuck, that is a good question. Any kids, feel free to comment if you still can actually read.
We're really sounding old.
Well, I mean, libraries are chock full of books, but I wonder if that's just like the,
But I mean, even for me,
college kids.
Like I couldn't tell you the last time I was in the public library.
Yeah.
I never go there.
I was there, kind of just killing time. That's where I found that Bernard Cornwell book.
Which one's that?
That was that historical fiction one.
Oh,
I was telling you about.
Yeah. Speaking of, we should talk about Dragon's Teeth. 'Cause
Yeah.
I read that book recently.
Oh, you did? Yeah. What'd you think of it?
I thought it kind of felt like a half-written book.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely got that impression too. And like that's fair because it was in his archives.
Yeah, it was a half-written book.
Yeah. He definitely seemed like he rushed it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Like I felt like there was all this build-up, and then like 3/4 of the way through the book, it's like, and then all the things happen. Okay, see you later.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Like I think there was that one chapter where he's in Deadwood, and has that gunfight, and then it was like, and then he went across the country.
Yeah. It
okay,
seemed,
cool.
Yeah, it seemed like I used to do that as a kid too, like when I was little, and they'd make you write little short stories, right? And they had to be 2 pages long. So I'd write something for like a page and a half, and be like, "Oh no, I'm almost at 2 pages." So, and then he died. The end. And that's totally how it felt.
My main character's people need him on the other planet.
Yeah. Well, and even, I don't know, because of that, I thought the main character, what's his name again?
Oh god, I can't even remember.
Yeah. William.
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, like, they just really wanted to let you know he went through changes and matured as a character.
Yeah, it was at like the last page when he confronts his snobby...
His arch nemesis.
Yeah. At Oxford, I think it was, or Harvard.
Yeah. Who made the bet?
Yeah, who made the bet. He was like, and he's grizzled, and he's got a scar on his face, and he's really strong now.
Yeah. He looked nothing like he was before, because he was nothing like he was before.
But yeah, like I did enjoy like he was using actual history and actual paleontologists. Like that whole feud. I thought that was really cool. Was a real feud, like the fossil wars.
Yeah.
And apparently it was like way more brutal than it actually was in the book. Like those two definitely tried to kill each other.
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty cool, eh? Like it was like the Old West but dinosaur bones.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something that would actually probably make a good movie too.
I can see it. Yeah.
Being entertaining.
But yeah, that was I think Michael Crichton kind of just getting his paces. I mean, he's also got like dozens and dozens of short stories, and I'm sure a lot of other archive stuff under his belt. But yeah, he kind of really hit it home with Andromeda and Jurassic Park.
Neither of those have I read. That's like the only Michael Crichton book I've ever read. Is
I will give you Jurassic Park because that is a good read.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Is it? Like, how different is it from the movie? Do you find
it sticks pretty faithful. There's a lot of some of the characters are switched up. Some characters die that don't die. in the movie and vice versa. But whole and whole, like, the best way I can explain it, like Ian Malcolm and John Hammond's discussion at the table in the movie, that stretched out like 20 pages in the book.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, and like same with like the Mr. DNA, like
Yeah.
I know DNA, that guy doing his whole speech. That's like 20 seconds in the movie, but that's like 6 pages in the book.
Right.
Like he goes into a lot of the science behind cloning and Jurassic Park and dinosaurs and like chaos. Like it's
Pretty in-depth.
really in depth. Yeah, but I really appreciate it for that.
That's something I love about that movie, though, is like that whole method he described is like sort of feasible.
Yeah,
if you were to ever
like,
find
if you
them
watch that, you're like, man, I could see a dinosaur in my lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you were ever to find blood in a mosquito that way, but
I like the craziest thing now is paleontologists are finding a way to like retroactively create a dinosaur by like turning off certain genes.
right,
And
that
chickens.
T-Rex chicken.
Yeah, T-Rex chicken. That'd be I have faith that I'll probably see that before I die.
You think you'll see a T-Rex chicken?
I think so. I'm hoping so.
That would be cool. I feel like there'd just be like, there's enough scientific benefit to that I don't understand why we can't do that.
That was, back to Michael Crichton Jurassic Park. That was one of like the reasons he made Jurassic Park like a theme park attraction. Is that like, yeah, it's really cool you can recreate dinosaurs, but that's not a cure for cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was gonna be like a reason to recreate dinosaurs, it'd have to be for entertainment and profit.
Yeah, I suppose there wouldn't be any like biological insight gained from doing that.
I mean, there would be like you would discover a lot about what dinosaurs actually were. It'd basically eradicate the fucking paleontological industry, I guess. But I don't think like it would have any real benefit for mankind. That was also a point in Ian Malcolm's speech, was like, you're so preoccupied with whether or not you could, you didn't stop to think if you should.
Right.
Like the hubris of mankind that, like, you're playing God. Like, you can just make dinosaurs with the snap of your finger. Like, why would you?
Because it's cool. Because
Yeah,
who
'cause
doesn't
it's
want to
cool.
see a dinosaur?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, and like, I guess I understand that, but I also think, I guess if someone were to ask you like, what's the point of doing that? My answer would be like, well, you learn stuff from it, so that's the point.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's-
you're right. What I learned probably won't cure cancer, but you would still learn something. You'd see something that hasn't
Yeah.
existed for.
Tens and tens of millions
Yeah,
of years.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, if you think about what we know about dinosaurs today, like we do know a fair bit, but I would describe it as like a crime scene. Like you didn't see the crime happen, but you see clues about what happened that could lead you to the answer.
Yeah,
Like
that seems harder than just seeing what happened, which you
way
can
harder.
do.
Way harder. Yeah. Like for instance, like we have like complete proof that a lot of dinosaurs were feathered, and we've known that for 20 years now.
Yeah.
I knew that back when Jurassic Park came out, and actually the elite paleontologist that Steven Spielberg hired to tell him what's what about dinosaurs was like, dude, you got to make those feathered, and you got to make them colorful. Because dinosaurs probably looked a lot like birds, and birds are colorful. And Steven Spielberg was like, fuck that.
When I was 5 and like dinosaurs, they looked like lizards, so
Yeah,
they
they
were
were
going
lizards,
to be
damn it.
lizards. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's also why the raptors are as big as they were. That's a big controversy.
Right. Well, because they weren't velociraptors; they were more like Deinonychus. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like at the time, because Deinonychus, like its scientific name was Dinorachus ontoropus, and at the time, Velociraptor mongoliensis, Velociraptor was classified as the same scientific name as Deinonychus and vice versa.
Oh,
So they
okay.
basically assume that they're just kind of like the same animal, on different sides of the world. Like, obviously, there was like a huge difference in size, but
Right.
honestly, all it came down to was Steven Spielberg thought Velociraptor sounded cooler. Which it does.
It does.
Which
Yeah.
it does.
Steven Spielberg might not have made the most accurate dinosaur movie, but he made a really
He
fucking
made the
cool
best
dinosaur
movie. He
Yeah.
made a fucking film classic.
Exactly.
So,
I'm okay with that.
yeah. I know a lot about paleontology, and I know a lot of people like on the internet that are into paleontology. And there's always those fucking assholes that are like, all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are inaccurate. I'm like, yeah, of course they were. Fuck you. They're awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have your cake and eat it too. You can have your paleontological accurate dinosaurs, and you can have your fucking cool Jurassic Park dinosaurs.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, I even think like when I was a kid and would watch like Discovery Channel, like those Walking with Dinosaurs or something.
Yeah.
And they were feathered, and I'd be like, "Fuck you, Discovery Channel! That's fucking bullshit.
That's crap.
And you know it."
I mean, they're
still cool, but they're
still
way
cool.
less
Like, yeah,
cool.
There are, I don't know, man. There are birds that are pretty fucking terrifying. Like, we were seeing an angry turkey.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is that the most terrifying bird?
I'll see what I can
Angry
come up with.
turkey.
I don't know. Have you ever seen a cassowary?
I have
That's
actually.
a scary bird.
Yeah,
That will
when I was
fuck
in
you up.
Australia.
Yeah.
They can like legit kill people.
Yeah, they're one of the only birds that actually does legit kill people like once a year. Like,
Yeah, they got like the little hook.
yeah, they got a
claw
fucking
things.
raptor claw and that like big weird
crest thing.
crest thing. Yeah, but they're aggressive. They will literally fuck you up
Yeah,
if they feel
they're
threatened.
badass, man.
Yeah.
They are badass.
So imagine that with arms, with claws, and a big tail, and like 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
See, that'd be
like
pretty
it's still
scary.
intimidating and still
Yeah.
scary. It's just more intimidating and scary without bloomy feathers on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like, obviously a crocodile, and that's also a huge close relative to dinosaurs. Crocodiles are pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, they're
and
super
intimidating.
fucking scary.
I would think it would be almost more scary if something that looked cute and adorable and not intimidating suddenly like grabbed you by the throat and ripped it out.
Like a hippopotamus?
Yeah, like hippopotamuses are cute, right?
They're adorable.
They will fuck you
Yeah,
up.
they super fuck you up. They're
Yeah.
super dangerous.
Yeah,
And so that's you like that.
I like
you
that.
You
I
like
like-
the hippo strategy.
I like the hippo strategy. I like deception in my animals.
Right.
Yeah.
That's you're right. Hippos are also the cutest, the most dangerous, and also the most cunning.
Yeah. Can you imagine Jurassic Park if they had just like animals today and the clever girl scene while pointing a shotgun at a hippopotamus and then
Just, like,
another
swallows.
hippopotamus comes outside.
Barrels through. That's just again like way in the future. That's what they think they'll think zoos were like a movie of a zoo gone awry.
Yeah.
Because there just won't be zoos anymore.
That's a really good question, actually. Like, what, let's say 65 million years from now, aliens pop down, or just, like, really advanced humans, or whatever the dominant species of the time is,
Sure.
and they come across, like, human skeletons and animal skeletons. I wonder what they're going to think we look like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was one thing I saw too. Is like even when they're putting together like recreations of dinosaurs, it could look vastly different
Oh, yeah.
if they had.
One of the worst things that, like, paleontology artists and, well, even, like, Jurassic Park artists do is they skin wrap, like, shrink wrap.
Yeah.
Because, like, an animal, if you can see its ribs and, like, its fenestra and, like, the details of its face, it's fucking starving to death.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, animals are
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah.
Animals have muscle tone. Like, that moose there.
Yeah.
If you just looked at a skeleton of a moose
and
and
then
you just, like,
stretch
attach skin to it, it would look really
Yeah.
weird. It would not look like that
it would
at
look
all.
way skinnier, right? Like
Yeah.
it would have. Yeah.
There's, here, I'm on the internet. I can just pull it up right now. There's a picture of someone that skin wrapped a whale. And it looks
Okay.
fucking terrifying.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I saw one time of like a baboon, and it looked
Oh,
really
yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, look at this thing.
Yeah, that's definitely not what a whale looks like at all, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, there's your scary baboon.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% not what a baboon looks like, right?
So, like, yeah, like, we are probably completely wrong. Like, that's actually a really good representation. Like, that's like a 19th century Triceratops right there.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's a shrink-wrapped Triceratops, and that's probably what a Triceratops would actually look like.
Right.
So, like, these two aren't that different.
No, that's not too bad.
This one's just fatter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, these, like, mongoloid dinosaurs.
That thing's fucking awesome.
Yeah?
I love that guy.
That's what they thought this thing looked like.
And also Godzilla makes an appearance too.
Yep.
That's pretty
Good
sweet.
old, tail dragon. That was all the rage back then. Yeah, that's what.
Huh. Actually, these two looked like totally different.
Yeah, that's a shrink wrap.
Yeah.
T-Rex there, and that's a good old fat boy.
Yeah, and that's like even just their posture and stuff is
Mhm.
totally different too, eh?
Definitely.
Huh.
Oh man. I'm taking a shit.
Dude, it's totally
It's
taking a shit.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's something the artists never draw.
Yeah. Picture of a brontosaurus while pooping. Of all the poses to put something in.
Can you imagine if, like, you know how kings and queens and, like, loyalty back then would get, like, it was like paintings of themselves?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
looking
yeah.
all posturous. Do you think there's
Yeah.
ever been that guy that's just like, just draw me taking a shit?
I'm
Probably
sure.
going down my
Oh
day
man,
to
there's gotta be.
I would think so.
That would be cool if
Yeah.
like I was mega rich.
You would
I
just-
would do something like that.
It'd be like that framed picture of Kramer.
Yeah.
Just on the toilet.
Yeah. There's one at the King of Trade here in town,
Oh yeah.
and Larry wants to buy it so bad, so bad.
And that would just complete this whole kitchen.
Oh,
I think.
I don't even know where we'd put it, but we'd have to
Right
put
above
it
the
somewhere.
doorway.
Yeah. Actually, that would be a really good spot for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love one of those ironic paintings, or even like some people do some crazy like pop culture paintings nowadays too that look fucking cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for
like
sure.
I would legitimately have that as like art in my house, even if I had a nice house.
Yeah, I remember back when I had an apartment on the south side, and I was dating a gamer girl back then, and she was all into that kind of thing. And like we had our whole like wall decorated with like gaming magazines and like the Skyrim map,
Oh, that's
and like Lord of the
sweet.
Rings map and all that nerdy stuff. I had my whole airsoft collection on another wall, so it'd just like be
Nice.
like a wall of guns and then like a wall of nerd stuff.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I've never had a wall of guns, unfortunately.
Well, neither did I, because airsoft guns are not guns.
But it looked like a wall.
It
of
looked
guns.
like a wall of
Yeah.
guns. Like, yeah. To the uninitiated, they'd walk in there and think, "Wow, I should probably not talk to this guy ever again."
This guy's fucked up.
And-
Do you still do any airsoft stuff?
No, I've kind of completely fallen off that scene.
Well, how about paintball stuff?
Paintball stuff. That's more up my alley now.
Because when we went to that expo on the weekend,
Oh yeah.
we didn't
Are
find
you
much.
about to tell me there was a paintball? at
There was
the
a
Weed
paintball
Expo?
booth at the expo.
Oh man.
Weed and paintball?
Was it just a booth or was it like a paintball arena?
No, it was just a booth.
Ah.
But pretty much the only thing we bought was like 20 rounds of paintballs.
Oh, really?
Like paintball, yeah.
You just bought paintballs?
Let me try and rephrase that. No, 20 rounds of like paintball. Like we rented.
Oh,
stores.
round. Like,
Yeah.
oh
yeah.
shit.
So 2 times we could have a group of 10 go up.
Oh, I am so down.
Yeah,
I'm
you're into it,
ridiculously
eh?
down. Hell yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, let's do that as quick as possible.
I used to play paintball a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was a phase I was in.
Paintball's a lot of fun, yeah.
It is.
That's why I think I'm more into paintball these days, because when I was in the airsoft scene, and no offense to any of my airsoft friends, but you guys take that game real seriously.
Yeah, I felt underdressed the one time I went.
Yeah, that was That was funny.
They did not like my toe shoes, which I thought were perfectly adept for the...
Yeah, well, yeah, a BB pounces off your toes, like right off the nail, you're fine.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't feel that at all.
That was one thing I...
You got kills that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody got a kill that game.
Yeah.
Ro got like 5. She was like Rambo.
She was killing it, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the one thing I didn't like about Airsoft. I actually found it was really tough to tell when you actually got hit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's entirely down to the armor system because there's guys that like crank up their guns to like incredibly high pressure. Where if you're just like wearing a t-shirt and a hoodie, you'll feel it. But because all those guys are military to fuck up, they got like combat vests and all that stuff. It's really hard to tell if you got hit with one of those on.
Exactly, like it's the honor system, but you can't even blame the guy sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
no doubt, definitely.
There was times I wouldn't know, like I would see a BB fall around and did that bounce off me or...
Sometimes you just gotta like just assume you got hit and call it anyway,
Yeah.
which does suck. Like at least with paintball, you know you got hit.
Yeah,
'cause you're
that's what I
covered
like
in
about
paint.
paintball. You're covered in paint and you feel it every time too. Like
Yeah, for sure.
It hurts a little bit, whereas Airsoft, like, I just felt like I didn't feel it. And they have all that shit on it too, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do you feel it through a chest plate? Like,
Yeah,
there's no
kidding.
way.
There'd be no way. I never like went as far to have like actual plates in my vest because I'm not a fucking idiot. But even just wearing like a standard like combat vest, like BBs will bounce right off that.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll never feel it unless you actually see the BB like
Hit you.
Yeah,
So,
it's
that was my biggest gripe about the game, and I'll stick to paintball, I think.
yeah. See, I was in airsoft for the fun of it, and a lot of those guys, they're hardcore.
Yeah,
Like-
more into the milsim kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and
Well, because like, if you ever want to shoot people and get away with it, your only two avenues are video games and a sport like paintball and airsoft.
True. Unless you're in the States, then also law enforcement.
Ooh, boom.
Boom!
Got him.
Social issue.
All right, let's get political.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't heard as much about that kind of stuff, I would say, in this year than I did last year.
Yeah, last year was really bad. There was I haven't really been keeping up on politics as much, but there was that one relatively recent shooting.
Parkland?
I think that
In
was
Florida?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not the one that's gonna blame the guns because it's also like to that same degree. I think it's dumb that you can just walk into a Walmart, slap down $200, and walk out with a shotgun. That I think is insane. I think you should definitely require registration and licensing and training to walk out with a fucking firearm. Like we've had that in Canada for the last 20, 30 years. I'm not too sure, but we've had it for a long time. And it's a good system, and it's not keeping guns out of people's hands. Like, we do have, like, ammo restrictions and stuff like that. Like, you can't have 30-round magazines for anything higher than a 22. But if you're just going to be planking or varmint hunting or just shooting for the hell of it, do you really need, like, 30 rounds of 5.56? I don't think so.
And that's, I mean, I'm not a gun guy. I've never shot a gun in my entire life.
Oh, really?
Really, not a real one. But like to me, I think it's kind of weird that we live in a society where, like you can buy guns that aren't designed for hunting. So they're like specifically designed to kill other human beings.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, you can have that, but don't use it for its intended
don't kill
purpose.
people with this killing person gun.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I
that's
know,
the thing,
I
like-
understand there's like a fun factor to shooting those guns at ranges or whatever, but
Yeah, like
it's
that's
just weird that that's a thing we sell.
Yeah, like buying military ammunition for what all intents and purposes is a military gun. Like, and you can hunt with like an AR. Well, actually, a lot of people do hunt with ARs, and you can hunt with an SKS, and nose in the gun, and that kind of thing. But that's not what they were designed to do. That's using something for a purpose it can handle, but not what it's designed for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I remember back 10 years ago, you could buy an SKS for like $50 because the Russians back in World War II made hundreds and millions
over the
of
Cold
those.
War and stuff.
Yeah.
The whole Lord of War.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Was that cool line in that movie? I love that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first movie that I saw Nicolas Cage in that, like, I was old enough to kind of make my mind up about movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love Nicolas Cage in that movie. He's really good.
That's, I think, in my opinion, that's his best movie.
Yeah. Oh, by far.
Yeah.
Like, but then after watching it, I was like, yeah, I'm such a Nicolas Cage fan.
And then
so
you
I
saw
watched
the
all
rest
other
of the Nicolas Cage movies.
And they're all, like, universally just terrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it.
Oh, man, have you seen The Rock, though?
The Rock was pretty good.
I love The Rock. That's
but there's
a really
also
good
like
one, too.
700 other amazing actors. Like Sean Connery.
Oh, yeah,
was
Sean
in The
Connery was
Rock.
really good in that movie. And
Yeah. That
Michael
Ed, what's his name? Yeah.
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Yeah. That was a good movie. That was a good Michael Bay movie. It sounds weird saying those two in the same sentence, but that was a good Michael Bay movie.
Well, like, it was still all explosion-y and it was like pure entertainment, but it still had something else going on, right?
It had a villain that you could root for. It had like a complicated villain.
Yeah.
Because Ed Harris wasn't really the bad guy in that movie.
No.
I believed in what he was doing.
Yeah, you were all for it, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that movie a lot. Lord of War, though, like, that was really well played, dramatic Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it was, and like, it was a lot of Nicolas Cage in that movie. Like, the other actors don't get.
Jared Leto was in that too.
Yeah,
he was pretty good.
His little brother.
Yeah,
that was another one where I liked him in that movie, and then I haven't really liked anything else.
Yeah,
he's made.
me neither. He was in Requiem for a Dream, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
And a lot of people find that movie a classic, and I think it's dumb.
You know what all these, I always found something really weird with that movie was, that, like, fucking epic score, like, the soundtrack that went with it. That, like, it was in, like, the Lord of the Rings trailer because it's just that awesome and epic that it could be definitely used for a battle scene. And it's in a movie about drug addicts. I never understood that.
I just remember, before I even saw that movie, we had like a DARE program kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, we had
that was part of the education for it. Was
watch
like,
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Oh man,
when he like chops his arm off and shit.
They make you watch that in like grade 3.
It was pretty young. It wasn't grade 3, but it was. I think it was either grade 6 or grade 7.
Oh man,
we had to watch that, and we're like,
Jesus,
like, don't do drugs because that's what'll happen.
Don't do drugs or I'll slam this fucking needle right in your arm.
I mean, I guess I can say it's worked. I've never done heroin or meth or anything.
Nor me.
So,
there's this really funny picture on the internet I saw a while ago, where it was like back when you're in DARE age, when you're like 8 or 9 or 10, and you're like, I'm never gonna drink, I'm never gonna smoke pot, I'm never gonna smoke cigarettes, and then in your like mid-20s, I'll probably never do heroin.
Does this mean when we're 40, we're gonna be doing heroin like crazy?
Oh man, we're gonna be millionaires by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna own property all over the place.
We'll be the good kind of heroin addicts.
Yeah.
The ones that
the classy
have
ones.
millions. Yeah, the classy ones.
Yeah.
That'll be excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one thing that's always confused me with some drugs. Like, we definitely have the fentanyl crisis.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's really bad. I lost a cousin to that one.
Yeah, well, and there's several people there's several people in town I know that have lost their lives to it. Yeah. Super awful. However, my confusion, I understand sometimes it's mixed in with other drugs, but let's actually just take meth because it's a better example. When someone's like, hey, do you want to do meth? Like, no, I've seen Requiem for a Dream. Like,
I've seen Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like every representation of meth in pop culture is super awful. So who's the person who's like, yes,
question. Yeah, I will do some meth tonight.
Yeah,
that sounds like a grand old time.
meth, please. And that's
no.
what I've never understood about a drug like meth, or I understand fentanyl's mixed in with other drugs, but some people like pick fentanyl up as a drug they use, and it's like
I've heard the effects are pretty similar to like I guess like the positive effects of like meth or heroin. Like,
Yeah,
how do you feel?
it's like a super cheap heroin basically,
Yeah.
but it's super easy to OD on.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. It only takes like one pin drop
Yeah,
to end you there. But yeah, like I don't know who in their right mind. Like I just can't imagine some like squeaky clean college kid who drinks every weekend and like smokes pot and like maybe does Molly on the weekend. And then some guy comes up to me and is like, "Hey, do you want to be meth?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do want to be meth."
Yeah,
I want to be meth.
And that's what's been confusing to me. Maybe it's just like the lifestyle I grew up in.
Yeah.
Like my parents were very no drug. I think neither of them have even smoked pot
Yeah,
in
that's,
their entire lives.
wow. Man, we got like stark opposite parents.
Yeah, so maybe it's just growing up in that kind of culture, but just every representation, everything I've heard about meth seems bad.
Yeah,
So-
it's bad, all right. Yeah, that's a good,
if someone
good
said, "Hey, do you
dictation.
want some of this
Yeah.
really awful stuff that's awful in every way you can imagine?" I would just probably say no.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like, but obviously people are like millions and millions of people are doing it enough to be a crisis, and like, I don't. It's interesting how that happened. Like, it always comes back to like nature versus nurture too,
Mhm.
right? Like, I think there's only like 3 or 4 members of my family that don't smoke, and I definitely smoke, and I think that's probably influenced by that.
Yeah, so I guess maybe if you had like meth heady parents,
Yeah.
that's the only way I guess I could see it. But yeah, my parents know that my brother and I like smoke weed and stuff, and actually
Yeah.
I've even told my mom about like other drugs I've tried and stuff. But when we went on holiday last week, it was the first time in her life she actually like saw
Did
me or Ty smoke pot.
Oh man, that's got to be a crazy revelation.
Well, it was really strange. We were all. It was on her birthday too. It was our birthday present to my mother.
Just like smoking
Smoking a
in your mom's
doobie.
face.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, mom.
But yeah, we met a couple guys from Toronto. Went back to their condo, and another thing was they had like one of those like kind of vaporizer things, but it looked like an electric razor.
Neat.
That's what it was like
Neat.
disguised as.
Sneaky. I like it.
Yeah, and like they brought it out and they're like, "Yeah, look at our cool electric razor," and like Ty and I got it right away. Nice. My mom's like, "Yes, cool electric razor. It's got like a nice wood finish." Like she didn't know why they were showing her this
Oh no.
their fancy razor. And yeah, so he rolled a joint, which was also great. It was the first time I'd ever seen a person need to put on reading glasses to roll a joint, which made me feel like a true adult.
That's hilarious. I like
It
that.
was so much more dignified.
No kidding. Yeah.
But yeah, and then he passed it to my brother, and I remember Ty and I just like staring at each other, and then looking over at mom, and then staring at each other.
Man.
Like, yeah, do it.
Oh god. Just like the anticipation must have been just fantastic.
It was interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. But I still haven't persuaded her to smoke up or even eat anything.
I would think, well, actually, that's completely false because I had my own, my own run-in with eating way too much edibles.
Fairly
I think,
recently.
yeah, if you give your mom like a little chunk of one and see how she feels. You know, a lot of people that don't really do drugs really like edibles.
Yeah. That's
It was really funny. I got a grandpa that is like completely anti-drug, like militaristically anti-drug, and he's selling all the news about how weed's gonna be legal and everything like that. And he was talking to my sister, who's been doing drugs since she's been born, and he was like, "So Jamie, when the wacky tobacco gets legalized, you gonna try some?" She was
What'd
like,
she
"Oh,
say?
I don't know, Grandpa."
Maybe.
And like my grandma knows my sister's been smoking pot forever. My grandpa
Yeah.
completely oblivious to that fact, and she was like, she had to like hold everything back, not to just like laugh in his face.
I think that's going to be such an interesting thing when it's legalized, is just to see the culture shift.
Yeah,
Like another when we're old kind of moment. is like I really think weed's just going to be accepted
No,
in
yeah. Well,
in general, like drinking is now.
But like that's the thing too is like I feel it already kind of is like the whole legalization thing just kind of feels like a second thought. Like
Yeah,
it's like when it feels like one of those laws to me at least that's like barely enforced at this point. Like obviously if a cop
It
pulls you
is.
over and you got like a pound of weed, you're still gonna get charged to go to jail. But if you're like walking around, maybe not walking around town with a joint, but like smoking up in your private residence and then going somewhere high, I don't think people really care about that anymore.
no, I don't think they do either, but I still think that it's going to be pretty impactful. Because like even as a consumer, you're right. As a consumer, it's just it feels just as legal. However, where you're gonna receive your pot from, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
There's going to be a lot of dealers getting losing a job.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they'll just get jobs at their local
Yeah.
dispensary, right?
Yeah. They just had 10 years of training. For their
Yeah,
new
exactly.
job. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll all have doctorates, basically.
It was I was watching this documentary on the Prohibition in the 20s. That was a crazy time because booze it kind of started from a religious thing. And there was the temperance movement.
Yeah.
And that was completely funded and completely ran by women that hated alcohol, hated their husbands and children being drunk, hated
That's fair.
any drop of it.
I could see that as a mother of that time.
Yeah. And like it kind of started as this grassroots movement and then just crazily expanded all the way to the point it went like a federal law that got passed. And yeah, like bars were shut down and
Yeah.
like but they handled it really bad because they didn't really front the bill to the people that are supposed to be enforcing no alcohol.
Okay.
Like it was easy enough in like villages and countryside and small towns and stuff like that. Just like throw all the barrels in the river and like
That's it. Yeah.
close up the bars and everything like that. In the cities like Chicago, that was notorious because that's where Al Capone was.
Mm-hmm.
They were fucked. They had no idea what to do or how to handle it. They didn't have the guys to actually take down the whole thing. And
Right.
like there was this like completely underground movement to get drunk as fuck. And everybody was in on it and like cops were being bribed. And you'd see like platoons of cops down the speakeasy just getting shit faced. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of. I think even as a cop, it must be hard to enforce things you don't believe in, right? So like,
Well,
if you're like,
if
yeah,
you
I would
believe
rather
in-
get drunk
yeah.
than give people tickets for
I'd
getting
rather
drunk.
get paid to get drunk
Yeah,
because
exactly.
this guy's paying me to look the other way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I could see me being a dirty prohibition cop just
Yeah,
because.
me too. Yeah, I would.
I think you
Yeah.
should be able to drink alcohol.
Yeah, you go
This
get
is
drunk,
stupid.
man. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like nowadays if I was to be a cop trying to pull over speeders, I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
No.
That's fine, please. Let me do some real stuff.
Yeah, but like, even like the people, like the detectives and like the big federal agents that were like supposed to be taking Al Capone down and taking down like the rum runners and all that, they would drink all the time too.
Yeah,
So they didn't actually believe the cause they were
exactly.
fighting.
Right?
They were
Yeah.
like nobly trying to bring down corruption because like Al Capone was paying tons of money to all these cops and like
Mm-hmm.
all the way to like the judges were paid off, the jurors were paid off. So like I thought it was more like a fight for justice and anti-corruption than it was a fight for no one should get drunk.
You think so? Like you thought that? I just thought it was like a bunch of wives getting tired of getting beat up by their drunk husbands and shit. Like that's kind of why I thought the
Yeah.
temperance movement.
Well, that's what like the temperance movement was, but once it went to federal, that's when they like just kind of lost control to the point where they're like, "Fuck it, it's off,
It's done.
This isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Everybody, do what the hell you want."
Yeah, and I think that kind of is what's happening with weed. But think how much alcohol has changed from the 20s to now, right?
Oh yeah, like every bar, like liquor stores. Here in Lethbridge, Alberta, there's a liquor store every 10 feet.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I even think where we live is one of the least liquor store full areas. Because
Yeah,
it's like
that's-
Raymond and
saying
McGrath,
something.
right?
Yeah.
We're right in the Bible Belt of
Oh
Canada.
yeah.
So
Well, what else do you do in McGrath, right?
Yeah.
That was my experience in the President's Past. There was not much to do.
Yeah, but I mean, those towns don't have liquor stores or bars.
Yeah.
They're dry counties, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, small town living, I think, would be tough without a liquor store for me.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But yeah, I wonder, like, do you think you're gonna see dispensaries as densely populated as you see like liquor stores?
I would think that's going to take some time. I would say probably within the next like 5 to 10 years, we could probably be seeing something like that. Yeah.
And that's pretty crazy, right?
I would think, yeah, that is
the zero
that
that there
insane,
are now.
I think it's going to be like, gas stations and like convenience stores are going to be footing the bill too, and like selling bags of weed.
Do you think they'll be able to do that? Because they can't sell liquor in Canada.
Well, they
It's not
can
like the
sell
US.
tobacco though.
They
so
can.
If there was
But
like
there's
a,
like to me, there's like an impairment factor to weed that I wonder.
yeah,
Because
you
I
might be
mean,
right.
there's like an issue with
Well,
like,
I bought-
driving high and stuff. That's one of the big things they're trying to legislate as a way.
I mean, I bought salvia at a gas station once.
that seems like maybe
I
that
bought a
wasn't
straight
like
up hallucinogenic at a gas station.
like they had that as like a thing they were advertising, or just
Yeah.
some skeezy gas station.
No,
attendant
it wasn't
was
like it wasn't some like guy behind that was like handed to me all sneaky like. It was like on the wall.
Here's some salvia.
Here's some salvia. Yep.
That's really messed up.
But salvia is legal.
True.
So, like, I wonder if we
And
will
why?
kind of take the same.
Why
thing.
is it legal? That's the most confusing thing to me about salvia.
Yeah, that is
Like they
that is kind of a good question. I'm not entirely
they made
sure
all the other drugs illegal, and they're like, except for this one, it's
Yeah.
fine. And like it's a really fringe drug that no one uses anyway.
I don't blame them for not using it.
Because it sucks. I've heard it kind of sucks.
Well, here's the thing. I did my research on it, and I found out that more than often what happens is if like whatever you focus on before you kind of take the ride is what your trip's going to be about.
Sure.
So if I took some salvia right now, let me just take some salvia right now.
All right.
If I stared at that moose right now,
Yeah.
that moose painting you got there, that's primarily what my whole trip would be centered around. And I was at this friend's house, and we had some really nice chill music, and like the lights were down. It was like a really nice atmosphere. It was a really comfy bed, and she had this poster of like the universe, and I was staring at that, and like as soon as I shut my eyes and like exhaled, it just hit, and like it was like blacker than black. Like I was not there, and then I just felt the sensation of being like put on a roller coaster. I still couldn't see anything. I didn't really have any sensation other than that. And then it just like started rolling gently. And then like it just like launched me into this like universal plane where I saw like every galaxy and every star. And there wasn't any time. That was the craziest thing. There was no like concept of how long this was taking.
Right.
Or like anything. There was like no minutes, no seconds, no hours. It was just like blank space. And then these like really weird orbs opened up out of nowhere, and like they kind of looked like cat eyes, and it was just like
Okay.
this like mutual understanding. Like I was staring at them, and they were staring at me, and we just kind of stood there staring at each other for what felt like ever. And then yeah, it just kind of like everything went white. I woke up in reality, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? But the whole time I was like in the universe having a crazy time. Real Tyler, reality Tyler, was writhing around like laughing like an idiot, like drool coming out of my mouth.
It's like maybe having a seizure.
I watched this really funny video of a guy. He was gonna drive his car while on salvia, so he gets behind the wheel, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna start out with like a 4X. There's different tiers to salvia. There's like 4X, 8X, 12X, with like all
And the more
intensity,
X's,
more
the
intensity.
stronger
The
it is.
X's, yeah. And he had just a 4X, and like I was like, "Yeah, I've done salvia all the time. This is gonna be easy." And so he packs a big bowl And he's like behind the wheel of his car and just blows it out. And he's like, just as soon as he goes to turn the ignition, he just like folds back in his chair. And it's just him like gyrating around his seat for the next like 10 minutes.
So he didn't even get the car
No, he
started.
didn't even start the fucking car.
That's awesome. Oh. See, but actually that sounds sweet to me. Like, I would love to,
Yeah, it's...
you know, peace
Oh, you
out for
can-
10 minutes and
Yeah,
take
you
a
want to try
trip
it,
through
man.
the galaxy.
You want to try it and go buy it at
Yeah.
Bob's for like $20.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I haven't had anything that crazy. Like, I've done mushrooms a couple times, and
Mushrooms is a
had
good sound.
oh yeah, and had some, like, I don't know. I guess it was kind of crazy, but nothing like straight up hallucinatory like that.
Yeah, I've never taken enough mushrooms to really trip per se. Like I've definitely like seen like lights or like things look bigger or smaller than they usually
Yeah.
are, that kind of thing. But nothing like nothing getting blasted into space.
Yeah.
Acid even. I did acid in like the summer of 2009. This big
man.
BC summer adventure. We were out in Shambhala, so we dropped acid on the way, and I didn't trip balls that either. I don't know if I just had like one little tab on my tongue, so maybe it wasn't enough to straight up trip balls. But man, was that a cool ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would 100% do acid. Like, it's on my bucket list, and that's totally wise. Just because I think it would be pretty cool to trip
Yeah.
balls and just like
It's a pretty eye-opening experience. Like, it's definitely like mushrooms. You could do a lot of mushrooms and be relatively the same person the next day. Acid, it changes you. It's something. I've seen some shit. It's something you kind of got to prepare yourself for, because you're probably not going to come out the same person the next day. But
but that's what I kind of think is cool about
it is cool.
right?
Like,
under the
I
right
definitely,
circumstances,
you can
and
definitely
with
come
the
out a
right-
better understanding and better person of it. You're not gonna. I've encountered so many people that just do a bunch of hallucinogens and think they're a fucking shaman. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
You're not some fucking guru because you dropped
Because
acid.
you did drugs a whole bunch.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a detest for those kind of people. But yeah, it can give you some pretty good insights to yourself.
Yeah. Well, I even find with mushrooms, like, I think a lot on shrooms.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I'll like wake up the next day and be like, all that stuff was pretty stupid that you were thinking about, Brody. But at the time, I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah. Oh man, some of the things I said when I was acid.
Yeah. I remember the first time I was on shrooms, I was at like a little house party, and we sat in the garage and we were talking, and I went on like a 20-minute rant about how life was similar to like a big bag of Skittles. And I thought it was like the most profound, crazy, cool, full philosophical thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
sounds
was
like it would be.
stupid as fuck. It was the dumbest shit that's ever come out of my mouth.
Did everyone else think it was the coolest?
There's
most
people
awesome
who
thing they
will,
heard?
who like, I'll see them and they'll call me Skittles now because of that. Because that's like, we've met half a dozen times,
Nice.
but that's how
great.
I'll be known. It's Skittles.
Skittles.
Yeah.
It's, hey man, life is like a bag of Skittles.
Apparently.
You never know what you're gonna get. Except when you put them in your hands, and then you know exactly what you're gonna get.
Yeah. It's not the exact same. They're color coded.
All right, well we're coming up to hour and 4 minutes.
Man,
Yeah.
crushed it.
Yeah, I don't know if you wanna keep going for a bit or.
It's up to you, man.
Yeah.
I've got nothing but time, so
Well, I kind of wanna take a piss, have a smoke, and play some PUBG if you're down.
yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right.
All right, this has been the first episode of Out of Left Field. I'm going to correct that audio file name as soon as this is over. Keep some consistency here. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this, be sure to follow us. We'll put some links up and all that good stuff. Maybe we'll even go as far as to throwing it out around town. See if people are interested. So yeah, thanks for enjoying us, and you guys all have a good day.
See you later, guys.